A piece of Contra Costa County history is in jeopardy. One of the county's oldest buildings is about to shut down, along with the equestrian group that it calls home. KPIX 5's Dahlin reports they're now pleading with Concord city leaders to keep their history alive.
Like many of you, as a Bay Area kid, I knew nothing about this adobe and its history. Historians say Don Fernando Pacheco built this adobe in 1844. His family founded the city of Concord. This was where they hosted parties and celebrations. It was abandoned in the early 1900s. The Contra Costa Horsemen's Association restored this adobe in 1941 and has called this home ever since. Now, the city of Concord is evicting the organization and closing down this landmark.
It's going to be broken into, it's going to be damaged, and I'm worried that it's going to be damaged beyond even city repair.
That's the biggest concern when the city shuts down the Don Fernando Pacheco adobe. All sides agree squatters will likely move in and vandalize this landmark in Concord. For the last 6 years, Mindy Rourke and her family have lived in a cottage behind the adobe as full-time caretaker. Mindy is also the vice president of the Horsemen's Association, which has looked after the adobe for decades.
We are kind of subsidized by the city, but we need that. But we help them too. It's a mutual benefit.
The association pays a yearly lease of $1. Yet the city is responsible for tens of thousands of dollars in capital improvement. The city says they're subsidizing the nonprofit with very little community benefits in return. The last equestrian event here was a couple of years ago. In fact, the horse arena is now covered with weeds.
We can't put any more money into the facility without a longer-term lease.
The Horsemen's Association says they need time to turn it around. They've been on a month-to-month lease. They say banks require a long-term lease to loan money so they can improve the property. They promise to pay for the repairs if the city gives them a long-term lease.
We want to work with the city. We want the city to work with us.
The association says their contribution can't just be measured in dollars and cents. The association rents out the adobe for events. They give free weekly tours and they participate in local parades to promote civic pride.
This is one of the oldest buildings in Contra Costa County. You're going to board it up and nobody's going to see it? Not good. Not good.
There's nowhere else to really go in this area for a Horsemen's Association, so it's the end of an amazing era, really.
The city gave the association until October to move out. Members are now hoping they can appeal to the hearts of city leaders to change that decision. In Concord, I'm Dahlin, KPIX 5.